Hey guys, NJ here. So, something I wanted to talk to you about. Throttle PIDs. Yeah, they kind of don't exist, well, not in the traditional sense, so sorry for kind of clickbaiting you into the title there. But it's a mindset. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while, and in a run-up to this Acro School series, there's a few things that I think we need to talk about before we get to that point that I think will really aid you on your road to FPV freedom and success and all the things that you want to do. Now, when I talk about throttle PIDs, I think what I'm trying to say is that you should treat the throttle like a PID or like part of the PID controller. And I think it's a real weak point that many people probably, I would think, don't tend to take or put into consideration in the same way that they will the rest of the feel of the quadcopter and the flight controller in general. You can have the most razor sharp tuned quadcopter in the world that feels absolutely perfect. It doesn't prop wash oscillate, it just feels sharp. When you let go of a snap roll, it just stops exactly where you want it to, and all that's fantastic. But if your throttle feels like a sponge, then that's going to cause a problem for you, and it's going to take away some confidence in that connection between you and your quad. And you've got to remember, the throttle axis is probably the one thing working the hardest when you look at any breakdown of any maneuver. I mean, go and look at a stick cam video of mine or of any of your favorite pilots, like watch a steel video. You watch that throttle is off on and all the places in between, and working twice as hard as anything else. And there's a good reason for that. It is an incredibly important part of not only the more advanced maneuvers, but cleanly executing some of the basic ones too. So what you need to do first and foremost is ask yourself that question. You need to decide, how is my throttle, and do I feel completely connected to it? If you're in a falling maneuver where the quad's coming down really fast and you just want to stop at that altitude, and you bang the throttle in and it stops dead and you disappear super low to the ground, if that's how your throttle feels and you've got the muscle memory to just bring that back and stop it there every time, and you can get close to the ground, you can skip this video. This isn't for you. If, however, you're one of those people and you're constantly afraid of getting to the ground, and many times you'll go down and you'll hit the throttle in and there'll be this delayed effect, the quad will almost feel spongy, where you jam the throttle and it kind of freaks out and doesn't quite have the power to stop itself hitting the ground, or you might touch the ground and then come back, and then you find your settled hover throttle and then you go away. This is probably the point where you need to start thinking about not only the type of prop you're using, but the kV of your motor, and importantly the weight of your quad. Those three things really do have to marry up. And if you've got more than one quad, does that throttle feel the same across all of them? Or maybe one of them feels amazing and you just find you're super connected with the throttle, but on the other two it feels a little bit spongy or a little bit weak or just doesn't work. This could be a big part of the puzzle. And consistency is that one thing that people really underestimate, because, and this goes back to a conversation I had with one, really well-known quad pilot. I'm not going to name drop him, but this was quite a while ago. I had the conversation with this particular pilot and I said, look, what version of Betaflight you're running, what's your setup? And he actually didn't know. He said, it's been so long since I've changed anything. My rates and my version has just been what it is for the last year. And for me, that's like a year. My God, so much has changed, etc., etc. And I just can't help it. I've got to live on the bleeding edge, and I'm sure many of you do. But it does change things. On every time you do that update, it's going to feel different. It's going to take away from consistency, and every time you change something, every time you change your rates, every time you change your PIDs, every time you change the firmware version, something about the flight changes ever so slightly, you've got to relearn it. You've got to relearn those positions, how everything feels. It works against your consistency. Even if you've got a badly tuned quad, if you've had the same setup for a set length of time, let's say 6 months, and in that time someone else with the same setup has gone through 6 versions of the firmware, and let's face it, Betaflight can move that fast, if not faster, or you've gone through 6 different sets of rates, or whatever it is, you've changed something. You may find the pilot with the worst tune has advanced the most in terms of their flying. They might not have the best flying quad, but little has changed, and because of that, it hasn't worked against their muscle memory. Now on that subject and the subjectivity involved in this, I can tell you about my setup and my experiences and what works for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It might completely suck for you. The point is, you go away, ask yourself that question: am I in that category where no, the throttle doesn't feel as connected as perhaps it could? And then you have to start experimenting. There's enough good props out there now for you to buy a bunch of different ones, try them out on your motor. In terms of my setup, what has been working for me consistently, being the operative word here, for quite some time now, is the V1S props. Now these are the 5 by 4.8 by 3 V1S, and these are actually quite a stiff prop. Now the earlier versions of these props I didn't get on with, and I found them, they certainly weren't as stiff. And one of the problems you'd have if you're going to run with a slightly higher torque lower kV, which is where I sit in this kind of 2400 kV, that's 2400 is considered lower kV now pretty much. In that area, the problem I was finding is sometimes I would punch the throttle, and with a very thin blade they would actually flatten out. So this camber under extreme pressure, as you banged in the throttle in a falling maneuver under a lot of load, this prop would actually flex and flatten out. Now that was a problem for me because that added sponginess to the way the throttle felt. So having a stiffer prop cured that problem. Now the stiffer the prop, chances are it's heavier, and if it's a heavier prop you need a more torquey motor. So for me, a 2306 or my preference really is a 2207. Offer that torque. They tend to usually be a little bit heavier. They're definitely got that extra bite and torque, and they work really well with these slightly heavier, stiffer props. So that combination just worked for me. And it has continued to across all of my quads. So I'm finding that point of consistency, and it's one more consistent thing that I can take out from the inconsistencies that I do, like constantly updating the firmware, etc. Rates is another discussion for another time, but that's also something that I spent a lot of time working on to keep consistent throughout all of my quadcopters and different flight controllers and firmwares. I'm always aiming for that same rate feel across all of them. But that prop combination works. Now you might find that you're running a very light prop. Now if you're running a super light prop, that's going to more likely suit to get that same kind of response where it doesn't work on a low kV motor, something like a 2600 kV, something that wants to spin up quicker and has that faster speed to it. Having a lighter prop means it has less rotor inertia, it can spin up quicker, and that will get you that same kind of feel. But it does still have, for me, a different feel to trying to achieve that with a lower kV and a stiffer, heavier prop. Those are two different feels and a nuance that you might find doesn't make a difference to you, or you might find it does. Again, subjectivity. You've just got to test this stuff out. So perhaps if you've got a prop that, like, your favorite pilot flies, and you think he's flying that prop and he's so locked with it and it's working for him, why is it not working for me? Well, maybe your kV's too low for that specific light prop, or vice versa, as we've discussed. These things all make a difference, and the point is I want you to go away and experiment and work on trying to get your throttle to feel as sharp and as connected to you as the rest of your PIDs do, and the roll axis, the yaw axis and the pitch axis. They have to feel that sharp, because your connection to the quad is a big part of what makes the difference in being able to execute maneuvers. It really is. I can't stress that enough moving forward, that you don't have inconsistency in the powertrain and in how things feel when you're in a position where you are falling like that and you just want to stop dead. It's the same with a roll. You do a snap roll, you want it to stop. You don't want to stop that roll maneuver and the quad to do this. You know, you're not tuned. Or if things feel soft, your P's are too low and that connection feels spongy and it feels like you're commanding it and it's overshooting and feeling wet and just not good. That's the same thing. As soon as you tune the quad up, immediately you feel that difference. Well, take that approach with your throttle, because that is going to make the world of difference, I promise you. One thing I forgot to mention that I'm going to mention now very quickly is the subject of simulators. Now, sims aren't a dirty word. They're totally something that can help you progress with your flying. But there is an objective to using simulators as far as I'm concerned, and that objective is to further my flying. Now, the last thing you want to do is have a simulator experience which you absolutely love and then a flying experience which you absolutely hate out in the real world. What you need to do is to get that simulator to feel as close to your quad as possible, and your quad should feel like the best thing you fly. If the simulator feels completely amazing, then you need to fix your quad. You need to do your tuning and do the things we've talked about, like that throttle connection. Those are the important things. But the more that simulator feels like your quadcopter in real life, the more consistency you've got to your flying, the more you will move forward, I promise you. And that commands what simulator you go with. Now for me, that's changed over the years, but right now it's Velocidrone. Velocidrone is just the physics for me, works out more like my quad in real life. So when I want to practice a new maneuver, I'll go into Velocidrone and I'll work on it and form some kind of base muscle memory before I come out and try it, especially if it's something that's going to be used near the ground, a maneuver that's going to be executed near the ground. That's what to do. Go into Velocidrone, practice it, get a basic feel for how it's going to be, and then you don't go blind doing it out here in the field. That will save you a bunch of parts as well and hurt your wallet a whole load less. But don't get into this thing of liftoff's better, Velocidrone's better, hot props is better. None of it matters. Try them all, see which one feels like your quad, run with that. That is what's going to get you further on. So, bit of a ramble, we did go on a bit here, but this is just some of the stuff I want you to start thinking about in the lead up to this Acro series, and it's something that you can actively start working on now. You know, go take your quad out and fly a bunch of packs. Don't go out with your friends, okay? Do this stuff away from the people that you are. I say the same thing with tuning, guys. Don't say to yourself, I'm going to spend the first 2 batteries tuning when I go out for a session with all of my friends on Sunday. That ain't going to happen. You're going to go out with your friends on Sunday, you're going to plug in, everyone's going to be excited, and you're going to shoot the first gap and start having fun. Your mind is not going to be all about doing the tuning. It's very hard to be disciplined. If you want to tune and you want to learn to tune or do anything like this where you're working on the quad, get a load of batteries, go down the field on your own, set up in a quiet place away from noise, bustle and hustle and everything. Get isolated and focus on these things and try and learn something about your quad and your connection to it, because the tighter that feels, the better a time you're going to have with all of this Acro stuff. I promise you, that will make the biggest difference moving into the then muscle memory side of learning these maneuvers and what we're going to do with them. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for listening to me ramble. And I hope some of that has made sense. If you've got comments on this, you know, let's discuss it. Get in the comments and talk to me about it. Or if you've got things of your own experience where you know this has worked for you, or you know, whatever that experience is where you've got something to contribute, this is a friendly place. Get in the comments and talk about it and be open. And you know, I'm always there in the comments. I'm always answering any questions you guys have. So thanks for bearing with me, and I'll see you very soon.